The Nagelsmann 4-2-3-1, of course, was meant for Bayern. But how's it going to do in the Premier League? Let's find out. Ladies and gents, welcome back to the channel. I am Sapien FM. We are doing the Nagelsmann 4-2-3-1 with the likes of Liverpool, Aston Villa, and Everton. Aston Villa is supposed to be in 13th place, Everton in 16th, so we're kind of throwing things around here. Now, if we look at the league table, as you can see, Liverpool and Aston Villa have done very well. Now, this is another thing. Someone has mentioned in the comments that Aston Villa does very well anyway, so doing a tactic with Liverpool, obviously I'm trying to get the top and see how it works. Clearly, with Liverpool and Man City, they pretty much almost always work. Aston Villa, though, the person had mentioned, they do well anyway, so maybe Aston Villa is not a great team to use. So I might be switching things up for the next round. I've got a couple more of these that I've already done with these three teams, but maybe the next round of tactic talks that I do, and that when I start actually performing it and simming everything, I might choose another three teams just to get something different. So, but anyway, as you can see, Liverpool with a whopping 92 points has done very well. Aston Villa beating Man City by 3 with 80 points, also doing very well. Not great on the points tally though, compared to a lot of the other tactics that we've seen with the likes of Liverpool and Man City. However, second place Champions League is fantastic. Everton in 9th, scheduled to be 16th with 50 points. Very well done indeed. So what is that? 23 points above relegation. So, but Liverpool with 29, 5, and just 4 losses. That's absolutely crazy. 2 of them, Everton and Aston Villa. That's insane. 92 points. Aston Villa with 25, 5, and 8 with losses only to Everton there. And then 80 points. And then Everton, 13, 11, and 14. Wins, though, you see, against Aston Villa and Liverpool, both at home. So overall, it looks like all three teams have done fairly well. Now, the tactic itself is a sweeper keeper in attack, an inverted wingback in support on the left, a fullback in support on the right, 2 ball-playing defenders in the middle on defend, a deep-lying playmaker in support, a central midfielder on support, a winger on the left in attack, an attacking midfielder in attack, obviously, in the central, and then an inverted winger on the right in attack, and then a pressing forward in attack central. It is an individual tactic style, positive mentality, in possession. You got fairly wide, focus down the left and right, play out of defense, shorter passing directness, tempo is slightly higher, low crosses, work the ball in the box, and be more expressive. In transition, counter press, counter, and throw it long. Out of possession, you got high press line of engagement, higher defensive line, trigger press much more often, prevent short keeper distribution, and stop the crosses. And as always, nothing for instructions. Starting with the Everton schedule, you can see they started out nicely against Fulham, 5-2 win at home, and just missing out on a point by a single goal to Man City away from home. Nottingham Forest, though, 2 wins in a row, one in the EFL Cup second round, 7-0. That is crazy. But following with 2 draws, 2 losses, and a win, and 3 draws right there. I mean, it is a very up and down tactic for them, apparently. But losing out to Liverpool away from home at Anfield, 0-1. The derby, that is a hurtful derby for them. But finishing out the first half of the season against Arsenal, a 1-2 loss away from home, getting into a couple of friendlies, then back into the EFL Cup 4th round where they see themselves out in penalties against Tottenham, losing to Leicester, losing to Manchester United 3-7. That one hurts. And then again, just a spotty finish to the season. Looks like they get a single win or thereabouts each month. Except for Aston Villa and Liverpool. That's a fantastic May right there for them. And then 2 in a row with Crystal Palace and Ipswich Town. They finished out in 9th place, so you don't expect win after win after win. But overall, not too bad. Aston Villa, if I go to Aston Villa itself, schedule-wise, a lot more green. Look at that start. Again, why do I not have the months here? Everton has it, Aston Villa does not. It's weird how it goes one by one. But again, fantastic run, even from friendlies, all the way, where is it, to September 16th against Leeds, a 0-1 loss. 0-1 loss against Newcastle, win against Liverpool right there, and Everton 2-0. So losing out in the EFL Cup 3rd round to Man City, 1-2 away from home, and then losing out 0-2 in the FA Cup 3rd round to Leicester. But after that, it's like a loss a month, except for in May, kind of like the opposite of Everton. But Everton, 2-3 loss right there. But overall, a fantastic run in April. 0-5 to Manchester United. 2-6 loss away from home against Crystal Palace. So, I mean, some of these games look like they probably should have gone the other way, but I mean, second place, pretty damn good. And then finishing out obviously with Liverpool. I mean, again, October 11th for Leverkusen in the Champions League Group A, 0-1 loss. Aston Villa 0-2, continuing their run 2-all in the Champions League Group A, but that does see them move through, correct? Yes, right there. Celtic 4-0 win, and then 3-1 win again in the round of 16. But FC Porto, you can see in the Champions League quarterfinal, first and second legs, both 3-1 ties. However, 0-3 to Real Madrid away from home, and only a 1-0 win at home at Anfield, and that sees them through. But going through, I mean, the other competitions, you could see Tottenham in the FA Cup final, 4-1. So at least 2 trophies right there. And as you can see, Manchester United 1-0 win in the EFL Cup final. So that's 3 trophies right there. But let's look at the FA Community Shield. 1-0 against Manchester City. Again, it goes, most of the times that I've seen it has been Man City, but Liverpool pulling a couple back. It looks like they've got quite a few trophies this season, though. And if we just look at it right here, you can see Liverpool, 92 whopping goals, the Premier League champions with a trophy there, knocked out in the semis by Real Madrid, winner of the FA Cup, winner of the Carabao Cup, winner of the FA Community Shield. A 4-trophy season is definitely not a bad season for this team. Now, if we go to the Premier League and we go to the stats overview, most goals Liverpool with 103, Man City only with 84. Aston Villa and Everton in 4th and 5th, 71 and 60. That's actually kind of a drop right there. Most points per game, Liverpool with 242, Aston Villa with 211. You would expect something similar to that, considering that was basically the table right there. Most possession, Liverpool and Aston Villa, never really big. So as we look at the Premier League stats, I want to point out one quick thing. On the thumbnail for the Steam workshop for this tactic itself, it says 102 torre, which I believe is goals. I'm going to assume it's goals. And 31 Gegentore, which I looked it up. It said conceded. So I'm assuming right here, most goals 103 for Liverpool, definitely beating Bayern right there, and in a harder league, I would say, in the Premier League. However, fewest conceded, 29, so better than Bayern yet again. Liverpool doing a much better job. Aston Villa with 38, not too bad right there. Most shutouts, Liverpool with 18, Aston Villa with 16. But yeah, that deep line playmaker position right there really helps lessen the conceded goals amount. As long as you have a good person in that position. So overall, it is definitely doing better than the Bayern version, as it seems. And if we take a look at the individual stats, the player overviews, most goals, Erling Haaland with 41, Nunez with 34, Ings with 23, Calvert-Lewin with 19, Ollie Watkins with 18. I was kind of expecting to see Nunez up there, but with Salah as well. When we get to Liverpool, I want to take a look at their squad just to see how they're spaced out. But we've seen a couple tactics. One that I remember, I can't remember what the name was, but where you had Nunez, you had Salah, you had Firmino, I think maybe, you had Jota, all up there in the 15 to 20 plus goals a season. So it was really spread out. But Nunez here with 34, most assists, St. Maximin in Newcastle with 14, Gordon with 12, Elliott, Carvalho, Buendia, and Watkins all with 10 apiece. So not too bad. I mean, kind of average. Most player in the match awards, Erling Haaland with 13, Nunez with 9, Watkins with 8, Salah with 6, there you go. Carvalho and Gray, Demarai Gray with 5 apiece. So overall, I mean, very, very nicely job. Very nice job. Allison with 25 allowed only. Martinez with 35 allowed. Most shutouts, you get Allison with 18, Martinez with 16. But let's start with Everton's player stats. You can see Dominic Calvert-Lewin in all competitions, 25 goals. Demarai Gray with 7.34 average rating. Anthony Gordon with 15 assists. And Demarai Gray with 6 Player of the Match awards. If we go to Aston Villa, player stats, Danny Ings with 24 goals. Not too bad. He really does pick it up in some of these tactics. Ollie Watkins with 7.35. Buendia with 12 assists. And 9 Player of the Match awards for Ollie Watkins. And actually, if we go to Aston Villa's squad, and we look at the amount of goals, you can see Ings with 24, Watkins with 21, and Buendia with 9. So not quite as spread around, but I mean, they do have a series that are, within a couple. Philip Coutinho got 5 and 2, 12 appearances. I wonder if he was injured. Oh, wow. He was out for 8 months. Damaged cruciate ligaments. Yeah, he was not playing all that much. If we finish with Liverpool, though, you could see top goal scorer, 56 whopping goals for Nunez. 754 for Nunez, though, highest average rating. I would have actually expected that to be a little higher. 754 is fantastic, but still, we've seen Salah with like 50 goals and an 8 rating. So most assists, Salah with 18 goals, with 18 assists, and then most player in the match awards, 16 for Nunez. And if we look at the squad and we look at the goals, 56 for Nunez, 25 for Salah, Carvalho with 20. That's a pretty interesting right there. Luis Diaz with 14, Jota with 13, and Firmino with 10. Again, not as spread out between 1 and 2, but fairly spread out. I mean, 3 players with over 20 goals is amazing. And assist-wise, 18 Salah, 16 Carvalho, 13 for Diaz, Elliott with 12, and 10 for Hendo. So not too bad, but Trent only with 9 and Robertson with only 7. So definitely taking some of these players out of their comfort zone. However, that is the Nagelsmann 4-2-3-1 tactic. Apparently it worked perfectly for Bayern with only a handful. What did they do? I'm looking at the sheet right now and it says 28-3-3 on the Steam Workshop. So, I mean, we did really the same, if not better. You could see 29-5-4. We got 4 more games. So overall, I think this is a fantastic choice for the top teams. If I head back to Italy, I don't know what it's going to do for the likes of, maybe Milan or Juve or something like that. But Liverpool and Bayern works very well. Aston Villa too, apparently. So anyway, that does it for me. Seffian FM for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you so much for watching. Again, a couple more of these 3 teams. I've already done them. I've already recorded them. And we'll get them out in the next couple of days to a week or 2. And then I'll change things up again and we'll see where we are. But that does it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and enjoy.